Good afternoon. Welcome to the Westborough Senior Center. I'm Alma DeMonch, the Executive Director here.
Welcome to another edition of Kaleidoscope. Today we're visiting the Senior Center and finding out what's cooking behind the scenes. One of our guests today is Bill LaPrade, and he's here to serve members of the community in a very critical area for those of us over 55. Bill, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, yes, I'm a SHINE consultant. The word SHINE stands for Supporting the Health Information Needs of Everyone. And basically I help people understand Medicare, how it works, as well as Mass Health for people that qualify for Mass Health, and try to get them the best health care benefits possible. Here every other Thursday. I alternate with someone called Jonna Zimmerman, who also is a SHINE counselor. And during open enrollment, which runs in the fall of the year for the upcoming year, we are both here 2 days a week to serve as many people as we can and help them to get the best deal out of their health insurance.
Now, are you doing this as a volunteer?
Yes, this is a volunteer job, and I really enjoy doing it because I end up saving people a lot of money and help them understand how Medicare and Medicaid work.
And how many years have you been serving here at the Senior Center?
I believe it's about 14 years.
14 years. Now, what were you doing before this? Were you in the medical field of insurance?
No, I was an electrical engineer. It had nothing to do with insurance or health care needs. But when they were looking for a volunteer, I thought that would be a nice job to be able to help people with. So they sent me to 3 months worth of training, and I learned all about Medicare and Medicaid.
Well, I know that our clients and neighbors and residents here in Westborough could benefit from stopping by the Senior Center and asking for Bill, and he'll help you with your Medicare needs. Thank you so much for joining us and for everything you do here at the Senior Center.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to be able to help out.
Good. Welcome back. I'm here with our guest, Jim Frederick, and he's another wonderful gem here at the Senior Center. So right now, if you'll excuse us, Jim's going to take my blood pressure. Hello, and welcome back after my nice medical procedure in the other private room. I'd like to again introduce Jim, who is the town nurse, and he's stationed here at the Senior Center and then again in another office at the town hall. So welcome, Jim. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
You have a multiple credentials and a past of working. So just fill us in a little about who Jim is, and then we'll talk about what you do for the town.
So I'm a firefighter paramedic on top of a public health nurse. On top of I also work for the UMass hospital system too. I work for employee health there. So it's kind of always trying to help someone, whether it's in firefighting capacity or nursing capacity.
So you live a very exciting life if you're going from morning till night and then coming here and going to the other towns. So we thank you for that. Now, how did you come to be at Westborough as the town nurse professional?
So there was a grant that was put out, a public health grant, which was done with the greater boroughs. It was done with 4 towns. It was done with Westborough, Northborough, Southborough, and Boylston. And the funding for that allowed them to hire a bunch of public health nurses. This year, part of it comes to an end, so there's going to be some cuts made, and the town of Westborough has made a position to hold me here in town as a public health nurse and continue with what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm really happy about that. That's exciting news that you're going to be here permanently. But it was great that you were on a grant so that you moved in, and you were here during the pandemic as well.
Yes, I was here during COVID. We did a lot, hundreds, maybe more like thousands of vaccinations for COVID. We're still doing vaccinations, not mostly of COVID, but for vaccines for kids. It's a program that the state supplies the vaccine, and the children get up to date with all their school vaccines, which is really good.
Yes.
So.
Now, where did this, you were also in the military.
Yes, I was in the Army. I was what they call aviation electrician. I fixed helicopters and didn't serve in any active time. I was in the right stage, I guess, of where I missed all that and all the conflicts. So.
Wow, so you're multitask. You could fix airplanes and fix human bodies. Really good asset to the town. Now, you talked a little bit with me before about your dad and your family and how that led you into where you are today.
Yeah, my dad became sick way back in 2002, and it was kind of a struggle. My paramedicine helped a lot, but there was still a lot that I learned. And as he progressed before he passed, he said, if you want to go back to school to do your nursing, the money is here. Just ask for it, and we'll take care of whatever you need. And my stepmom, kept his wish, but when she paid me to pay for school, in return I paid her back because it was out of respect to my dad. So it was his sickness that pushed me to go further on top of my wife. She's an endo nurse, and she was another one said to do it a while back, but with the two boys and stuff, we just couldn't. So then once time came, I went back and became a nurse.
Well, your commitment to service is truly amazing, but that must have come somewhere from your background. Yeah,
my dad was, he did heating and ventilation. He was an oil man, and he was always helping people. And he would go out at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when somebody had no heat. I always go out, always a smile on his face, and he had a high respect for seniors and stuff, and I think that's kind of what led me to enjoying being here at the Senior Center the most.
How many clients, not necessarily patients, but clients do you see here and at the town hall on a weekly, monthly basis?
So when I first started, it was very quiet. There wasn't a lot of clients that I saw, but as people started feeling more comfortable with me and could come in with whatever they wanted, it started to climb. I think the highest I've had is 35 in a month. And the lowest I think right now I've seen is probably 18 to 20. And whether it's blood pressure or even just need to have a conversation or fixing their meds or anything like that, you try to do as much as you can for them.
Well, you are truly an asset, and an asset to me personally, since that's how I met Jim. I needed to have my blood pressure taken 3 times a month. And to find some place to have that done was really impossible. And my husband told me about Jim here at the Senior Center. And I don't know how many other people know about this hidden gem, but we are so proud to have you as part of our town. And I hope you have a wonderful vacation because you certainly deserve it.
Soon enough, it'll be a nice vacation. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hello and welcome back. Our guest now from the kitchen at the Senior Center is Terry Shea. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you. Can you tell us how long have you been here and what your job is, if you have a job title?
Nobody has a job title except Bobby. Sous chef, cleaner, dessert person. We all just kind of do whatever needs to be done.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
Since 2017.
Now, you're the only woman in the group. How has that been?
interesting, but something I'm used to because when I was in graduate school, we had a group of 30 in our research group, and frequently I was the only woman.
So you got used to being in the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was your career choice before becoming the sous chef, the cleaner and sweeper, and the only woman in the kitchen?
I worked in industry for a while designing process control instrumentation, and then I taught, I don't know how many years, a long time,
In what field?
chemistry.
Chemistry. Well, isn't chemistry is really important in cooking and making sure the right ingredients are in.
One of my best friends is a cooking teacher, and we did a project one year with my AP students in her cooking class to make the best chocolate chip cookie. So the kids learned all about different ways of heating and temperature and stuff like that, and the faculty got to judge
The cookies.
the cookies.
Now, you do have another job in the kitchen. You have been the keeper of the recipes so that you know what the ingredients were, how much was purchased. So tell us more about how that happened.
We would frequently say, what do we need for this? And nobody could remember what we did last time. So we started writing it down.
And because of your expertise in keeping accurate records, you were the one chosen.
It was only as accurate as what they told me.
Okay.
Those who shop and those who cook, mix the stuff. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all you do. And you, too, are involved in other nonprofit activities in here in town. Would you like to give them some notoriety? Where else do you volunteer?
The Westborough Civic Club. I've been a member of the Civic Club for a number of years. Different things in my church, a number of different ministries in my church.
So we thank you for all of your service and for keeping those men in line in the kitchen and those recipes accurate. So thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you, Mary.
I'm here with Paul. So what nice and welcome to you. He's one of the members of the cooking team here behind the scenes that provides food and deliveries for members of the community. How long have you been with the group?
Including COVID, 5 years.
5 years. And what is your role at the kitchen here?
I mostly wash pots and do the cleanup, but I can chop and dice and do a little sautéing. But I listen to the chefs.
Now, as a volunteer here, what training did you have prior to this in the kitchen? What was your life like before here?
Didn't have any formal kitchen training. Do a lot of home cooking. Spent some time in my brother's restaurant. He was a chef, so I saw him doing it. So no formal training for cooking. That's why I take the orders from the chefs.
Well, what was your position before this?
Oh, I owned a small business and we sold golf products.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention that you're also the volunteer president of the food pantry here in town. So you are very active in food insecurity and maintaining food for people who are in jeopardy of not getting a meal. So your efforts are really appreciated in this town.
Thank you. I try to make sure people have food to eat.
Yes. Well, you and I both have the same job. At home, I'm married to a chef, and my job is to wash the pots. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm here with another member of the cooking team here at the Senior Center, Bob Sylvester. Bob, want to tell us a little bit about what your job is here at the Senior Center and how long you've been at it?
I think I've been at it about 7.5 years when we started the meals. And been here twice a month, and we've been doing it every month. So we have most of the food that we make is comfort food. And that seems to please the people we serve.
Now tell me, what is your job in the kitchen? You're not the
Right
dishwasher?
now I'm getting so old, there isn't much I can do. You can see the cane I got. So I'm bossing around.
But
They don't seem to worry about it. They do what they're told, but most of the people we have now, there's 4 other people in the kitchen. and they do. They know what to do.
Now, you do the shopping, though.
Yes, Guido, Bernardo, and I usually the day before do the shopping. We have a favorite place up in Safford Street in Worcester. I call it PPW, but I think the name is different. But that's all right.
Right.
And then we go to Midtown Meat, Gibson, and they were in Route 20 in Worcester. They moved to Millbury.
Okay.
So
Now,
those are the two places we'd have to go.
okay. Do you cook at home?
No, she won't let me cook at home.
And she being your wife?
Wife.
Oh, nice Italian home. The wife has to do the cooking.
Oh, believe me, that's true.
But here you have free reign to put your comments
I
in.
do pretty good. And I get away with a lot of stuff that they look at me like I got a hole in the head, but we do it.
Good. Well, you're an important part of the team, and the food wouldn't taste as good if Bob didn't have his finger on the pot. So thank you so much. I'm here with another member of the Kitchen Brigade that helps put food on the table for people who are in need. For transparency's sake, I have to let you know that the gentleman sitting next to me is my husband, who spends most of his time in my kitchen, and for 50 years, since I don't know how to cook. So welcome, Burton Christensen.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell me, how long have you been here at the center?
At this point, about 4 years.
And what's your role here in the kitchen?
I'm going to say it's been deferred that I'm the chef of the group. I spent most of my working years working in kitchens, and at one point operated a business of my own. So I have experience with food service, experience cooking and serving, and so I got elevated by the skill set that I brought into the kitchen.
Now you're also, like many of the others, volunteer at other locations. So on top of being here working in the kitchen 2 times a month, you are also part of another group.
A constant part is the food pantry. 2 times a month I'll work in the pantry distributing food on their Thursday nights. And the other volunteering that I do is around the Lions Club. I've been president of the local Lions Club for 3 years now, and have done a number of volunteer services and work through the Lions Club.
Well, we thank you for your service, and I truly thank him for his cooking skills at home. So, thanks again.
You are so welcome.
Our last guest from the Kitchen Brigade is another Italian, another compadre. Want to introduce yourself?
I'm Guido Leonardo.
How long have you been working in the kitchen here at the Senior Center?
Since Bobby needed help, his first assistant had to move out to Seattle, and I think that was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
And you've been doing that ever since. What is your role here in the kitchen? Everyone seems to have a speciality and they can do this or that. And I know that Bob had mentioned that you and he go to do the shopping.
Right, the two of us do the shopping, and pretty much the organizing of the kitchen in terms of what's where and what, the inventory. I keep track of what we have so that we know what to go and get when we have to go shopping.
Okay, now, when you're getting ready for your bi-monthly cooking, how do you know how much to purchase? Is there a steady number of lunches or dinners that you're preparing for the bi-monthly event? But I also know you do the breakfast with the chiefs and other internal activities here at the Senior Center. But How do you know how many people? Is it a regular
So,
number?
Yeah, it's in the same ballpark. It's been going down, since COVID, and we haven't quite gotten back to the numbers we used to have. But it's roughly the same every time.
Month. Now, how do you make up, or who makes up the menu?
So twice a year, Bobby and I, usually the two of us, sit down with Alma, and we go over what we did the year before. And we go through and make up 6 months at a time.
So they're time tested, and everybody knows the routine, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Well, that's it. We try to stick to, to comfort food and things that most people will do. We took one diversion this year. We did a crab cakes and fish sticks, and then we had to make sure everybody knew in advance because of people that might be allergic to shellfish. We had to worry, but most of the things we do pick the ones that we don't have to worry about.
Without any additives, it might be causing problems.
And everyone gets the menu. When we do the 6-month menu, that goes out to all of the potential, and as new people are added, she sends that out so that they know in advance and can call if they want to cancel.
What would you say is the most appealing part of being part of this team?
Oh, it's just great knowing that we're helping people, not have to cook that evening. I've had to deliver on a few occasions, and they're so grateful. The people, they thank us so much, and it's wonderful. I love that part.
Now, do you cook at home?
Not much.
No.
I used to.
You used to?
I used to, but now leave it all to my wife. She's the good cook.
She's the good cook. Well, thank you so much. Now, you do, as the others, all seem to be involved in multiple nonprofit work. Where else do you give your time?
Primarily the Knights of Columbus. I've been a member there. I was Grand Knight about 15 years ago, and that's where the bulk of my work is. Then the Lions Club here at Westborough. Spend quite a bit of time doing. We just did our rubber duck derby. You can see that on Westborough TV.
Good.
And St. Luke's Church. I assist with the videography ministry there, as well as other things.
Well, thank you so much for all you do and the food that you provide for those in need. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So I'd like to thank all of our guests today on this episode of Kaleidoscope. As you can see, they're committed to service, not only here at the Senior Center, but all over the town of Westborough. So we thank them, and I thank you for watching.